The DHS Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas has announced that the Victims of Immigration Crime Engagement Voice Office, that's in the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Department, which served angel families, the families of people whose relatives had been murdered or killed by illegal aliens. It's going to be disbanded. And it's going to be, or should I say, expanded to include providing benefits to illegal aliens who claim to be crime victims. So, as part of the abolition of the Victims of Immigration Crime Engagement Office, they changed the website, the ICE website, and they removed 6 illegal criminal aliens accused of killing American citizens. They had a most wanted list, and they removed these 6 names from the most wanted list. And one of them whose name was removed was a guy named Edwin Mejia, a Honduran national. He was charged in Omaha, Nebraska, with the motor vehicle homicide and the death of Sarah Root in January of 2016. He entered the country as an unaccompanied minor in 2013. You remember when Obama had thrown the doors open? He was letting all the unaccompanied minors in. And this guy was drag racing in Omaha, and he hit Sarah Root and killed her. And this change, this removal of the illegal aliens who were wanted for vehicular homicide or murder or whatever, was spotted by Michelle Root, the mother of Sarah Root. And she alerted senators this week to the DHS's erasing of the criminal illegal aliens from the most wanted list. Joining us now on the line is Michelle Root. Michelle, thank you so much for being with us, and I'm so sorry for your loss, and it's really horrible, and I still remember that case well. Thank you. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
And this Edwin Mejia, he was drag racing, correct? And he was underage and he was drunk, correct. I believe. Is that true?
Yep. His blood alcohol was .241, and he was racing another vehicle, and my daughter was stopped at a stoplight when he ran into the back of her going 70-plus miles an hour, according to the GPS in his truck that he was driving.
So he had no license, and he was under, I believe he was under the age of 21, so he had no business drinking any alcohol.
He was 19.
19.
Yep, he was 19.
Why? I always wondered, Michelle Root, why the hell was he ever released, given the circumstances of the event and the fact that he was an illegal alien? Of course he was going to flee.
Exactly, and we tried to find all that out. I think what happened was they did not expect us to be as vocal as we ended up being. So then we tried to go after the judge, and of course they have immunity, and he backtracked and he said, I didn't know his legal status. And I'm like, well, right. You know what? There was a warrant issued for his arrest in May of 2015 for failure to appear on other violations he had out. So how in the hell did you expect him to come back after he killed somebody? They didn't even bother to put an ankle monitor on him or nothing. He bailed out with $5,000 and the promise to come back, get the ankle monitor, and do drug and alcohol testing.
And that
Big laugh, right?
That was the last anybody's seen of him. Has anybody tried to track him down during the Trump years? And is he back in Honduras?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is, Intel states that he is in South America. They did not say, I don't believe he's in Honduras, but they did not tell me if that's where the Intel had suspected him to be at. They just said their Intel has him in South America, and that was the last they knew.
So you probably check this website fairly regularly just to see what's going on. So when did you realize that they had removed the most wanted? So in order, I don't know if have they explained why they removed the most wanted, these illegal alien killers, from the website?
They have not. And I actually noticed when I was on my way out to D.C. to testify because, you like to be up to date and
Right.
make sure that you're saying the right things and everything. And I was shocked that I couldn't find it. And so then when I got out to D.C., when my plane landed, I had somebody help me just to make sure. It was always where I went to find it,
Right.
So I had them look to see if we could, and we could not. And then we even checked the morning of my testimony just to make sure it hadn't gotten on there, and maybe,
Hmm.
just trying to look at the other side of it, make excuses, which we all know it's because it was Trump that put it in there. And so, yeah.
So
Yep, it still wasn't on
you
there.
told the senators at the hearing that that they'd taken the list of the Biden administration had taken the list of illegal alien killers off the ICE most wanted list. Did the Democrats have any reaction to this? Were they shocked, or did they just say nothing to see here, folks, move along?
Yep, they just said nothing and just passed right over it, just like nothing had happened, because that wasn't the narrative that they wanted shown during that testimony.
And
So
what did the Republicans say?
honestly, I don't think they even realized what I had said, because there was no reference back to it after it was stated.
Wow. Have you heard from
Yeah.
the survivors of any of the other victims whose killers were taken off the most wanted list?
I still talk to a few of them, but and I know this is selfish of me, I was just looking for Edwin Mejia, and I did not realize that all of the other ones that had been removed as well. I knew that they had taken it down, but I didn't know whose all were on there, whose killers of their loved ones were on that list. But I do still talk to quite a few people that have lost loved ones. And then when I was looking at, I think it was something that you had written or talked about, and then I'd seen several of the people I talked to whose loved ones had their killers removed as well.
So we're talking to Michelle Root. She's the mother of 21-year-old Sarah Root, who was allegedly killed by a drunken, drag racing 19-year-old illegal alien from Honduras named Edwin Mejia in January of 2016. So she was killed on the day she graduated from college, correct?
Correct. That night. And I know because people are hateful. And my death date is January 31st. My daughter graduated January 30th. She was brain dead upon arrival at the hospital. She was an organ donor, so her death certificate reads a different date because we kept her on a ventilator so she could donate her organs, because that was a wish of hers. But my death date is January 31st because there was no brain activity, and she was declared brain dead that day. So those people out there that want to say, oh, she lived 5 days, no, she did not. She was kept alive so she could give the gift of life to other people. So yes, within 12 hours of graduating with a bachelor's 4.0 in criminal investigations, my daughter was killed by Edwin Mejia, an illegal alien.
What does it make you think of the Biden administration that they would take his name off the most wanted list? Like he didn't really do anything.
It's frustrating, and it's very hurtful, and it's like our loved ones don't matter, and they don't care to find their killers. And they don't want to speak with us. They don't want to see us. They don't want to hear us. And we're not going away, and we're going to continue to fight for what's right for our loved ones.
Did Edwin Mejia, with that brief court appearance he made before the judge let him go to run away, did he apologize to the family of your daughter, to you and your other relatives?
No. The defense attorney said he was remorseful, but the investigator while Edwin was still in the hospital because he had a leg injury. And I didn't know the full story in the beginning. You know, you're just so shocked. So I had no idea about his immigration status, that he was drinking and driving. I had none of that information. So when the investigator came up to talk to me, and I said, "Oh, I'm glad he's going to be okay," and he kind of looked at me like, "Okay, she don't know what's going on here." And so he told me the full story. He said they had a police officer outside of Edwin's door because they were afraid he was going to run from the hospital. He said, and he knows he killed your daughter, but he has no remorse.
Ugh.
So, yeah. And let me tell you, we tried to get down there to, you know, make him have remorse, but of course it's secure in the ER and wouldn't have been good anyhow if we needed to be.
What was he doing for
our other child?
What was this illegal alien doing for work to get money for his drag racing and his alcohol?
He was a roofer. He was working for a company in Omaha, Nebraska called Trimco.
Yeah, that's.
Yep.
Did he have any papers or anything like that, or was he, or what? How was he getting paid?
Cash is what we were told. Now, I don't have that verified or anything, but there was no check or any type of paper trail like that for him.
Wow. So I mean, what would you say to Joe Biden if you could talk to him right now, the President of the United States, or Mayorkas, his Homeland Security Secretary?
Just, I wish they would really seriously look at this and even meet with us and hear our stories and try to understand. I thought for sure that Joe Biden would understand losing a child, even though it's in a different way than we've lost our children. Ours is preventable. You know the pain and the loss of a child, and so once you want to do something to prevent that, because every one of our loved ones' deaths were preventable, and they don't care. And I just hope and pray that the same situation doesn't happen to one of them.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, his wife and his baby daughter were killed in 1972, and it was by an American who was sober. They don't know that the wife may have run the stoplight or the stop sign. But it's terrible when you lose somebody like that, and it's something that you wonder if it ever could have been prevented. But I mean, in this case, this was even, I think, worse. A drunken illegal alien underage, just drag racing.
Right.
It's horrible. Michelle Root, we appreciate you being with us, and again, I'm so sorry for what's happened and this rubbing salt in the wounds with this decision by the Biden administration, showing who they really care about more than the victims and the victim survivors. Thank you very much for being with us, Michelle Root.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. A lot of us are going to be on the move again this summer. Now it's officially summer. So my advice to you is take your Raycons with you. A pair of Raycon wireless earbuds in your ears can make all the difference. I was in Quincy yesterday watching people walk the beach, and a lot of them had I could see that they were listening to something. They were walking by themselves, singing to themselves, talking to themselves. I saw one guy, Taylor. He had this pair of blue headphones on, and he looked so goofy. And I thought he could look cool if he just got some Raycon wireless earbuds.
Well, you wouldn't even give him a second look if you were wearing Raycons.
No,
you wouldn't have even noticed them.
Yeah, you wouldn't have said that guy's a goofball for wearing them.
Well, you may have, depending on what he was wearing. But no, it wouldn't have been an issue. He would have. Yeah. We wouldn't have looked so much like a nerd or a goof.
But the more important thing is that with Raycons, you get crisp, powerful beats at half the price of other premium audio brands. And with Raycons, you're not going to be bothering anybody else, whoever you're with, someone you're working with, someone you're working out with, someone you're vacationing with, a family member, whatever. You're not going to bother them with your choice of music, and they're not going to bother you with their choice of music if you get them some Raycons. Raycons look great and they feel even better. They come in a range of cool colors and with customizable gel tips included for a comfortable in-ear fit. And Raycons are built to go wherever you go with quick and seamless Bluetooth pairing and a compact charging case. Raycons have 24 hours of battery life. That means you probably aren't going to have to recharge them all weekend long. They'll run all weekend before you have to charge them up again. So you take them anywhere you want, to the seaside, to the lakefront, to work, to play, to workouts, wherever you go, on your walks, on bike rides. They are an absolute must-have for your daily grind or your yearly vacation. Listen up. Raycon's offering 15% off all their products for my listeners, and here's what you've got to do to get it. Go to buyraycon.com/Howie. That's 15% off at buyraycon.com/Howie. buyraycon.com/Howie. I'm Howie Carr.
Follow Howie on Twitter @Howie Carr Show. You won't regret it.